Man, what a week for these Knicks. I think the All-Star break is great rest. Hopefully they return soon. Of course, we're going to talk about the Knicks and the All-Star game. Of course, our flagship topic today will be the topic that some Knicks fans are uncomfortable talking about, and that is the Knicks versus the elite teams in the league. Where do we stand? How will we perform in the second half of the season? We'll also talk about Karl-Anthony Towns and a lot of the things that he's done recently to shine. We'll talk about the power rankings, of course, Knick of the week. We'll talk about word on the street and much more on This Week Inside the Knicks. Salute and welcome to This Week Inside the New York Knicks, episode 16 of the 24-25 season. I am your host, the objective Knicks fan, straight out of Kings County, New York City's finest, and you know the vibes. And listen, y'all, it's a great time to be a Knicks fan. We're going to keep the energy growing and going as I share this link and get more people in the building, but you're in the place to be. We got a lot of good things to talk about, and I really was looking forward to this pod so we can get all the information out and live and kicking. So without further ado, man, let me get back on the screen, man. So welcome to everybody that just joined. I will have to go a little fast because I'm getting ready to go to the movies after this. I'm going to go see that new Captain America. I look forward to it. I don't care to hear what anyone thinks about it, but because I don't like to be told if it's good or not. But definitely tell a friend that we're live. Of course, we'll be talking about the time period between February 10th to the 16th. Very short week in terms of basketball action. You know, we went 2-0 with wins against the Pacers and the Hawks. And salute to the boys. Because honestly, that the Pacers game was a revenge game. The Hawks, we already got our get back against them, so getting them again was definitely a major key. So I'm hype. Yeah, I hope y'all hype. You know, basketball will return this week. I look forward to the Cleveland game. Oh, I do got an update. So I was talking about the live play-by-play game that we were supposed to do for Cleveland, but that game is going to be on MSG. So I don't do games, unfortunately, that are going to be on MSG, so I'm going to have to skip this game. So the next play-by-play game will be actually next Sunday at 1 o'clock, which will be the Celtic game. However, we do got the Knicks call-up show, and I'm going to go over the schedule towards the end of the show. So just to give you guys an update with that, I think I do want to jump into, might as well jump into research mode early. And there's some special highlights I definitely have to get out. First off, I do got to give a big time salute to Rashard McCants. And you know what? I'm going to give him some air horns because Rashard McCants is really bigging up the Knicks at All-Star Weekend. Gil's Arena, they did a show. And it was a live show in the Bay. Salute to everybody that was in the Bay. And, you know, Rashard was pretty much saying that he got the Knicks going to the finals. And he expects the Knicks to do some great things in the second half of the season. And of course, Gil and some of the other guys responded kind of negatively, saying some crazy things. Like Gil said that the Knicks is 2-13 against teams that are 500 and above. By the way, look for members members only show. I'm gonna probably do it tomorrow morning. I don't have the exact time, but keep a lookout into the video section, the live video section, and you guys will see. I will be doing a members only show tomorrow, and it pretty much will be the Knicks intention that we didn't do, and I'm gonna go over all the stats and the numbers. So salute to everybody that's interested in the numbers and things of that nature. But I gotta start there, and then we got some other. By the way, if you're wondering about the website that I'm on, this is the thisweekinsidetheknicks.com, which is basically a blog that's dedicated to the podcast. So the podcast and the blog are sort of interrelated and interconnected. So that's what this webpage is, and this is where I'm reading from. So as you can see, the video is featured here, so you will be able to find a link to this article in the description. Or you could just go to This Week Inside the Knicks and you'll see it there. But either way, so there are some special highlights that I want to give a salute to. First off, I got to give a big salute to the Big Bodega. He actually was voted on and elected to the NBA Players Board as a rep. He's a vice president, right? So salute to Karl-Anthony Towns for getting there. And honestly, I didn't know that Karl-Anthony Towns was this vested in, NBA issues, because he says that he's never actually missed a game. Let me see if I get the exact quote from Karl-Anthony Towns. Towns says this: "I'm excited to join the NBPA Executive Committee and honored that my peers voted me into this position. I've been in the league for a decade and I've never missed a union meeting." So salute to Towns, man, for, doing his thing and representing for the players. So I know he's probably really excited about that. Buzzer Beater, I see you in the chat. What record did Gil say we have against 500 plus teams? Man, the brother said we were 2-13. Now, he did say he was making it up. But at the same time, come on. The thought process is that we struggle against teams that are elite. And no worries, that will be the flagship topic as I continue to share this show. Tell a friend that we're live. I forgot to do all my blasts before the show. So excuse me for doing it mid-show, but I'm trying to get all my people in the building because there's a lot of people that like to watch this show on Monday, and they look forward to when I notify them that we're live. But yeah, that's what Gil said. He's tripping. He is tripping. But yeah, this is a big time salute to Karl-Anthony Towns, though, for getting elected to the position that he wanted to be in. But Buzzer Beater, could you believe that? Gil is wilding. He is wilding, man. I was like, the hate that the Knicks get, and I've put this in the Discord section. By the way, salute to everybody that's a part of the Knicks Tape Madness Discord server. And to all the members, if you are a channel member listening to it, you need to get inside the Discord server. Oh, by the way, salute to Knicks will be champs 25-26. Salute to you. Here's the thing, right? I put in the Discord that a lot of these channels is like, and J-Tap actually said it too. He said that a lot of these people, they do Knicks hate for clicks because they know when you hate on the Knicks, it gets views. I'm just tired of having to address this stuff, man. It's like all the time they coming with the negative Knick criticism, and it's like really annoying. So I want to get into some more special highlights, some more good news. Carmelo Anthony has been listed as a Hall of Fame finalist, right? Of course, we know once a Knick, always a Knick. And his Knick tenure definitely played a role in helping him get his career accolades. Some of his better years was with the Knicks. So anytime he gets enshrined to the Hall of Fame, as Knicks fans, we got to give him love because he wanted to come here. And he came here when at the time where the Knicks couldn't get a superstar. We did get Amari Stoudemire, but it was a shot Amari Stoudemire. He was the only star in his prime that pushed to come to New York at the time, right? So we got to give Melo his flowers. Pat Riley said he's one of the greatest players ever. A tough guard, can shoot, good size, and carried the franchise in Denver for a long time and then went to New York. Always a tough guard. By the way, when he was in Denver, he made the playoff every single year. So, salute to Melo for that. Definitely. He has a Hall of Fame career. I agree with Riley. I think he should get in on the first ballot. I think he's more than worthy. His game, in the modern era of basketball, and salute to the sporting page, I'm pretty sure I'm curious to see what his response to this would be because he's a historian, but I think Melo is top 5. I think he's top 5 all-time scorer in the league. You put him up there with Jordan. Of course, Jordan is number 1 in the modern era. I'm not talking about Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain. I'm talking about modern era. You got Larry Bird. Bona fide scorer. I think he's up there. For sure. You guys can let me know what you think. Which Knick was better, Randall or Melo? It's definitely Melo. Melo was an all-star starter for at least 3 years he was here. Randall was a 3-time All-Star. Melo started on the All-Star team for like 3 years. Yeah. So, yeah, for sure. Oh, definitely give a big-time salute to Bernard King. You know what I'm saying? Legend. Oh, salute to J-Tap in the building. I got to give him an applause, too. Salute to J-Tap in the building. Mixtape Madness Discord server. What's up? I wish the Hall of Fame was a little bit more difficult to get into. I agree. But you know what, J-Tap? We can't go back in time and change it. You know what I'm saying? We can't go back in time and change it. I do think that the standards was a little... You know what it is, too, J-Tap? I think that it's kind of like a popularity contest. I don't want to call out names, but there's certain celebrities that are or players that's in there from back in the day that honestly probably shouldn't have been in there, but because they had a name or they might have been on a team that where they were successful and won championships, that's what got them put in there. And it's like, come on, bro, what are we doing here? What are we doing? I'm sorry, I forgot to start my clock. By the way, if you just joined the stream and you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button, especially if you're feeling the content thus far. I won't disappoint. All you gotta do is hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you get all your notifications, and then like the video so more Knick fans can check out this video. This is the podcast. We do it every single Monday at 6 p.m. And basically we cover all of the news from the past week. Every single topic that's major is on the blog that I mentioned earlier, thisweekinsidetheknicks.com. You can check it out. And it's the best place to go to if you miss anything. If you want to see, okay, what happened this week that I might have missed, all you got to do is go to thisweekinsidetheknicks.com. Right? So we talking about Melo. Also, I got to give Melo another salute too, because he also will be joining this NBC class. I think NBC is creating, and I'm not logged into my athletic account, but if you do have the athletic, this article is featured there. And you could get the link, of course, on thisweekinsidetheknicks.com, but I'm just going to sum it up. Melo, he will be doing like the halftime reports basically for NBC. They hired him and a whole bunch of other people. I can't think of off the top of the head. I think D Wade works for NBC already. I think they hired Dirk. They hired a couple of people. NBC, it's like they're building, like I said, an Avengers team. And I wonder if, because this is kind of like what I'm doing with this channel, is like I'm auditioning myself. So, you know, Melo has a podcast, right? And on his podcast, I guess that's like showing the world that he's into doing media. So salute to him for getting this job, working with NBC. He's going to be joining that staff. I can't wait for the traditional theme song. I can't wait for that. Oh my God. When you hear that song, you knew it was serious basketball time. Salute to all my people that go back in the day when they used to hear that song. Oh yeah, we're going to get to the All-Star game, by the way. Let me put the topics up there too so we can see some of the topics that we're going to be talking about. Yeah, we definitely going to get to the All-Star game. Knicks will be chance, but those are some of the topics we're going to talk about today. Right now, I'm still doing some of the special highlights. Like I said, I got to move a little quicker because today I will be going to the movies to go see that new Captain America. Let me see what else I want to talk about. More salutes. I'm going to give a big time salute to Precious Achiuwa. You know, Precious Achiuwa, he visited his former high school, right? And, you know, salute to him. I like to see the players giving back to the community, right? A lot of players do this. In fact, mostly all players have charity initiatives and things that they do, right? That people don't really talk about pretty often. So I am happy to see, you know, Precious Achiuwa doing that. And Precious, you know, he's saying that, and speaking about his game, he said that he's just playing really good right now, trusting his game. He's in a good rhythm right now, right? And he's just ready for whatever he's being asked to do. Salute to Precious for that. And yeah, the guy has been balling. Honestly, I gave him a big time salute, and I actually gave him consideration for, which game was that? One of the games. I can't remember which game, but he put in work. He had 26 points. I think that was the Pacer game. But yeah, he played really well, and he went back to his school, St. Benedict's, right, in Jersey, prep school. So salute to Precious Achiuwa for showing love and getting some spotlight. You know, I got to give him a big time salute for that. Let me see if this will be my last highlight, by the way. And I'm curious to see what's going to happen now, even more so than ever. The New York Knicks, #2 in the NBA in terms of franchises that are the most valuable, right? And as you can see, I got the list right here. The Golden State Warriors is number one, $9.4 billion. The question mark with that, though, is what's going to happen when Steph Curry retires? What's going to happen when Steph Curry retires? Will they maintain that spot? Knicks number two, $7.5 billion, because before Steph and the Warriors, took over, it was the Knicks and Lakers battling for the 1 and 2 spot. And the Knicks always kind of had a slight edge on the Lakers when it came to valuation in terms of money. But Knicks is right there in the thick of things, and I think that when Steph leaves, we're going to get our spot back. That's just how I see it because, unfortunately, and I know this might sound bad, but, the Knicks, they sell out even whether we good or bad. Right now, we're good, so I'm not worried about when times is bad. Right now, we're good, right? And we got a younger team than the Warriors, right? The Warriors, they did just sign Jimmy Butler, 3 years, $60 million a year. That's crazy. Like, what are you doing? I said my last blast, but what are they doing? So I'm confident that the Knicks will get to number one, but that's all for the special highlights. Let me get moving. Oh, by the way, the games, I'm not going to really talk about the games. Honestly, we're going to talk more about All-Star Weekend because the games to me was like, it feels like it's ancient history at this point because they were so early in the week. So, yeah, I don't think I'm going to touch much more about the games. But if you do want to read up more on the games, you can. I do have some good information on the games there as well. Let me see. Fruta on Dios in the building. Definitely get the likes up like on Dios is saying, for sure. And subscribe. Knicks will be champ says the theme made my Sunday. That theme made my Sunday great. What theme? Let me see. Sherwin says, good evening. I don't think the Knicks can beat Boston, Orlando, Detroit, and a healthy Miami in the Game 7 series unless Mitch is back. Sherwin, give me a second. I'm going to get to that. We're going to talk more about that in a second. Knicks will be champs 25-26. It took the Warriors dynasty to overtake the Knicks. Imagine if New York wins 2 titles. And Knicks will be champs. First off, like I always say, you got the best name on YouTube, in the YouTube community. That's a fire name, and we definitely could win the championship. I'm going to say this. It wouldn't even be fair. Like, look at how many national TV games we get now, and we're not even in the top, like in the top of the top, according to a lot of people. I mean, of course, us as Knicks fans, we know that, we feel that. But if the Knicks were like Boston, the Knicks would have 35 national TV games, not counting NBA TV, if the Knicks were Boston. We got pretty much, I think might have one more. We got the same amount of total national TV games that I could remember. It was 34 if you add NBA TV. But the traditional, they say traditional national TV games would be TNT, ESPN, and ABC. Those games, I think we got 24, and I think the Celtics might have 25. Could be wrong, very similar, but they won the championship. If we won the championship, yeah, I agree, way more. Definitely way more. So that's why I highlighted this article, because I'm like, the Warriors are only number one because of Steph. We got to keep that. We got to keep it real. We got to keep it funky. Speaking of the All-Star game, couple of topics I want to talk about with the All-Star game. I'm not going to spend all day here. But I do want to ask you guys a question, to those that's listening to pod, whether we're live or in the future, if you watching the recap. Do you believe that we were robbed? Salute to Daily Knicks. They feel as though, well, they highlighted that Knicks fans will be robbed because we don't get to see Brunson and Towns together, right? On the floor together. They were on separate teams. And then even if they revisit the whole international play, I think it was Wemby that said that. No, was it Wemby or Giannis? No, Giannis said that he would like it to be world versus USA. And if it's world versus USA, Cat will play for the world team because he's Dominican, right? Even though he's American, but his family, his mother was Dominican, so he's going to play with them. So, we kind of get robbed. I wish they just figure out how to make the East-West game more exciting and just go back to East and West. Because I back in the day, I used to love watching the All-Star game East and West. And those guys used to go hard. All you got to do is go back to 2001, 2, 3, right? Watch those All-Star games in the late 90s or anytime in the 90s and 80s. When it was the All-Star game, those teams played hard. So it's a shame. Yeah, but I do agree with Daily Knicks. I do feel like we were robbed. What do you guys think about that? What else with All-Star Weekend? That was kind of crazy. Of course, Brunson let us down with the 3-point contest again. Once again, he's a bucket away, literally 2 points away from getting to the finals. And then look, Tyler Hero, right? He goes and wins the championship. So, and Buddy Hield wasted a great round to not win nothing. So it is what it is. I kind of didn't want the Miami Heat to win it, but what could we do? We were stuck between a rock and a hard place. You had Garland, who's a Cav. You had the Heat, and then you had Buddy Hield, who's a Warrior. I mean, we don't really got beef with the Warriors, but it's still not like we could rock with them, right? They're still the Warriors. Who gives a damn about them? So yeah, we were kind of in the rock with a hard place. But I do like that Jalen Brunson said that and Hoop Hype quoted him here that Brunson said that he may come back. He may do a three-peat. And I think the only one else to do the three-peat was Trent Tucker. And why don't the Knicks have no 3-point contest winners? Why is that? Like, guys, like, come on, man. Like, we got to get at least one. We got plenty of dunk contests. We have many dunk contest winners. But why can't we get the 3-point contest? I don't know. And Brunson is right there. It's not like Brunson is thinking of the joint. He's like right there. But it's tough. And I think they said he would have been the first lefty, right? I don't think there was ever a lefty to win the 3-point shooter. I don't think Bird was a lefty. Was Bird? No, I don't think Bird was. I think he shot lefty, but I don't think he was a lefty. Anyway, either way, they said that no lefty has won the 3-point contest. So let me see what else with the All-Star game. Of course, I'm going to keep it real, y'all. I saw the rookie versus, how they do the rookie, the same way they do the All-Star game, they do the rookie showdown or the rookie showcase. And the rookies play a lot more harder, period. Because they're young, they want to hoop. The veterans, I thought they were going to be a little bit more competition. It kind of had moments of it. It wasn't, of course, we didn't see a 200-point game because the most you could score was 40. But I still feel as though it's not a hit. It's not a hit. I think they need to figure out something else. They need to. I don't know what it is at this point. But the All-Star game is just not exciting. It's not. And I'm trying to cap for it. I'm trying to cap for it. It's just very hard to cap for it because it's just not fun to watch. It's just not fun to watch. Let me see what you guys talking about in the chat. Buddy Hield can afford better looking team. Oh my God. Dog growls. What's going on? Let me see. J-Tap says, why can't they just play hard? You know what, J-Tap? I just think that, and I'm going to keep it real. I think that part of the problem why they can't play hard or they don't play hard is because there's too much friend business going on, right? It's just everybody is friendly, right? Everybody is friendly. Everybody, you don't really have rivalries like that. Like when you look at the MVP race, Jokic and SGA, there's no bad blood between those two teams. I mean, what's the most heat we got? Of course, the Knicks, we got our traditional rivals, right? But the players don't dislike each other. Like Halliburton and Brunson and Hart, they all friends, right? Boston Celtics, you would think the way the Knicks are getting embarrassed by Boston, you would think there would be more animosity. They're on the Roommates podcast giving people their props, and Jason Tatum and there's no malice there. Not even with the Miami Heat. Not even with the Miami Heat is there malice, especially now that Jimmy's traded away. So now they got Wiggins there. I mean, there's no heat. Tyler Hero and Brunson are cool. They sit next to each other at the 3-point contest. I just think that there's no animosity there. Let me see what you guys talking about in the chat. By the way, the chat is really lit for a Monday. Salute to the chat, y'all. Y'all doing y'all thing in there. J-Tap said, players were friends off the court back in the day, too. Good point, J-Tap. That's a great point. Barkley was friends with Jordan. Ewing was friends with Jordan, even though the battles, hello, but they still were all cool. That's a good point. Oakley and Jordan was best friends too. I mean, real close, real tight, for sure. Yeah, good point. Good point. But I just think that, I think it's a combination of money too. These guys get paid way too much money. It's like, who could I be mad at? I'm getting paid $60 million a year. Tori B says that new format was horrible. Yeah, I thought it was going to be all right because the rookie game was more exciting. The rookie game was more exciting, especially because the G League, oh my God, the G League was going hard. Let me see. Knicks will be chance says the league needs an alpha who's also a bully like MJ. Okay. We don't got that in Ant-Man? You think Ant-Man is also too friendly? Sherman says, I'm sorry I did not watch 1 second of the All-Star game. It is nonsense. Facts. Buzzer Beater says Ewing and Jordan was friends. Jordan intended Ewing's retire, but yeah, big facts, but still try to take. Yeah, see, that's the thing, Buzzer Beater. When I was young, watching these games, we didn't have access like we did today with all social media. So now you could actually see behind the scenes, Brunson shaking hands with Steph Curry like you, my mans in them. So good point. I think that back in the day, because off the court was definitely hidden. Like today we see off the court because of social media. We didn't know that Jordan and Ewing was that cool, right? Unless you was like a reader or something like that, like really into like, catching up on sports like that. You didn't know that because on the floor, that's all we really cared about. We didn't really care about what these guys did off the court. So good points. Good stuff. Good point. Let me see. Do you honestly see us beating? Salute to Yuri, by the way. Knicks Tape Madness, Discord server, and channel member. He says, do you honestly see us beating the Boston and the Cavs? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And I'm going to touch on that in a second. That is my flagship topic. Meanwhile, quick little segue. I do want to, if you guys are feeling any of the hats that's on my shelf, right? All you got to go to is on thisweekinsidetheknicks.com, the blog, click on discounted Knicks hats. Mostly all of the hats you see that's on my shelf, you could go get it there. And like I said, a lot of these hats are discounted really well. Most of them are on lids. Some of them are on Amazon. So if you guys are interested, and let me show you real quickly the hats that's on my shelf. If you guys like any of these hats on my shelf, okay, right there, bam. Go to thisweekinsidetheknicks.com, discounted hats, and you can get any one of these hats that you see right here, right? I got to share it with you guys because some of you guys like to wear hats too. By the way, when I had the Knicks Tape Madness Discord server hat giveaway, a couple of you guys actually won hats from me too. So yeah, feel free to go check out the website. Like I said, a lot of good information on there. Not only that, we got the hats, and I'll put it back up real quickly so you guys could see. You could get some good price hats here. And what I've been into recently is a lot more of these stuff like this, like the Z hats. This hat right here is handmade. It's fire, and it's great quality, and it's cheaper than the average, New Era, the 7x, what is it called? 7x7. All of the name brand hats. It's cheaper than all of those hats, right? And it's fire and great quality, handmade. Go check it out, right? All you gotta do is go to the discounted hat section. So let me get back to the blog. Let me see about All-Star. Anything else with All-Star you want to talk about? How would you rate Jalen Brunson and Towns' performance? How would you guys rate it? I mean, honestly, ESPN, they took the liberty to rate everybody. I don't really care about ratings because guys, for the most part, are not playing hard, right? So a guy like Jokic never plays hard in an All-Star game, right? He's just doing it because he has to, right? It's part of your job, right? But Kyrie Irving, A-. I mean, and I feel like a lot of the older guys that got higher grades, you see, like I said, Steph Curry got an A-. He was the MVP, right? Jalen Brown, well, he's not older, but some of the older guys I feel like got great grades because this is their final days, right? So you don't know when you're going to come back, right? And play again in these games. Jason Tatum went all out, and certain guys are just going hard. Like SGA, SGA had a great game in the semifinal, but then in the final he kind of chilled. It's like, what are we doing? It's not like I'm we're going to win a championship. Look at Jokic, the great Jokic, 2 points. But you know what I do like? I do like how they kind of was like being nice with the grades. Well, technically no. Donovan Mitchell got a D. I was going to say nobody else got lower than a C+, but Donovan Mitchell did get a D. But some of these guys are not playing hard. And then look at Wemby, young legs, 11 points, you know. I ain't going to lie. I'm not really feeling it. And I'm not going to really give grades, but they did give Towns a B+. And I think they gave Brunson a C+. I mean, I don't know. I don't really care to grade it. I do want to say this, though. After reading this article here, I do have a different take. Josh Hart. Now, remember, I didn't make it a big deal, but I kind of highlighted the fact that I think that Josh Hart should have started in the All-Star. Not started. He should have been in the All-Star game. Whoa, slow it down. I am the objective Knicks fan. I'm out of stand. He should have been an All-Star. Reserve. Okay. Better. And so, but honestly, I'm thinking that I'm agreeing with Mike Vaccaro. Salute to Mike Vaccaro from the Post. Writes some good articles. He says that this actually is a blessing in disguise. And I gotta log into my plus. But like I say, guys, this is a great subscription if you like reading your news. Of course, I don't like the fact that you got to spend so much money because I got athletic subscription. I got a daily news subscription. I got a Post subscription, the Sports Plus that they want you to subscribe up for. But if you do like sports, you know, what the Post has to say, it is good to buy it. It is good to buy it. I like to read my news, so I do have all subscriptions to everything. And I don't just read sports news either. So it's good because I get to see all types of news. But all I'm saying is why I agree with Mike is because Josh Hart plays a lot of minutes. He's number 2, number 3 in minutes behind Bridges. So let these guys rest. Let these guys, we don't need Josh Hart having to show up the All-Star weekend. Let him rest. You know, he's dealing with a knee, right? Even though he plays every night, he's dealing with a knee issue. So I'm happy to see Josh Hart relax, rest. All of these guys, OG, I am hoping that OG is ready for the Chicago game on the 20th. Yo, if OG's back, Mitch, I want Mitch back too. But if Mitch takes longer to come back, it's not as bad for me personally. I'm gonna keep it real. But if we can get OG back for that Cavs game and then that Celtics game on Sunday, that's a major key. So I'm not tripping. I'm glad we got the 2 All-Stars. Brunson and Towns, no wear and tear. This is a scrimmage, right? All good. And, you know, they were celebrated. Having the 2 All-Star starters, very important. And I just think that it was great. And you know what? I'm going to end the All-Star point on this because I just looked at my notes and noticed Brunson actually has a suggestion now. And also, I'm going to look in the comments in a second. But I want to know if you guys agree with Brunson's take. So Brunson says that, look at what this fan said. This fan says, I'm actually really heated about this event. I spent more physical time voting than Jalen Brunson spent on the floor. I didn't mean to click it. I didn't need to do that. But yeah, that's crazy, right? Like, it just feels like 40-point game. These guys don't get enough time. But Jalen Brunson said that, and Clutch Points quoted him. He says, I think it's interesting. I think it's different. These games are kind of short. I mean, I like the format. It's something new, something unique. Maybe just make it a score to 50. So what do you guys think about that? Do you guys think they should change the score to 50? I don't know. I'm going to say it don't help, but I do think it's interesting. It would be better, I guess, to see more time, especially if the games are close. But if it's a blowout, you know, you seen a team getting smacked, do you really want to wait to 50? But I just thought that was a great take. Oh, thank you, Buzzer Beater. I appreciate it, man, for saluting my Knick hat collection, man. Hey, man, I just build one hat at a time. I'm getting ready to order 2 hats this week. Don't tell wifey. She's like, oh, you buy so many hats. I love buying hats. By the way, salute to you, HRM the Great, Knicks Tape Madness Discord server channel member. I see you in the building. Sherman says, please stop it with the minutes. Anthony Mason was playing 43 minutes a game. He was a football player playing basketball. Oh, man, salute to you, Sherman. In terms of minutes, am I going to talk more about minutes? I gotta get the hot topics. But it's cool because I'm not talking about no games, so we got a little bit of time. And I'm gonna try to get to as many topics as I can. But in terms of minutes, I'm gonna say this. The two players who I'm realistically not concerned about minutes for is Josh Hart and Mikal Bridges. I think they could handle the wear and tear of the minutes. Everybody else, I don't want to see the minutes elevated. But I'm going to say this too. I think the bench we're getting a bit healthy bench. Even if Mitch is not ready to go, if you get OG back, you got plenty of bodies off the bench. It's going to be a 9-man rotation. So I'm not concerned about minutes anymore. I think the minutes argument will be a thing of the past. And I see the narrative shifting about the Knicks bench. I think that we will finally get the praise for our bench going forward. Right? So that's all for All-Star. I'm going to move to some of the hot topics. I'm not going to talk about all the hot topics, but there are some hot topics we definitely got to talk about. And by the way, if you just joined, I didn't get the flagship yet. These are some of the main topics that I'm hitting on right now. We talked about All-Star Weekend already. We talked about some of Towns' accolades already. And then I still got to get to some of the other things. And of course, the Mitchell Robinson update I'm going to get to in a second as well. Mason was like 6'7", 280 playing all those minutes. That's a fact. And yo, honestly, he threatened Don Nelson to not take him out of the game. How many of you guys remember that? He literally threatened Don Nelson. Do not take me out the game. Yeah, that's legendary stuff. But to be honest, though, Buzzer Beater, we can't compare timelines. Captain 11 Mug. Anyway, we can't compare the old school way to now. You know, we it's a different time, different era. They do things differently. So, you know, we gotta relax with that. But I do want to talk about this. A lot of people were going crazy with this, and this honestly almost became the flagship topic. But I feel like it'll never happen. And if it does happen, it'll be something that'll be so crazy that most of us wouldn't even think it would happen anyway. So I'd rather just wait till the day where if it happens, it'd be crazy. But a lot of you guys were speculating that Karl-Anthony Towns was doing some scouting. He was doing some espionage. He was trying to pull an NBA cheat code. Not to say he's cheating, just having fun. I'm just saying that a lot of people was talking about how Jokic made some comments saying that Towns is a player that he's gotten closer to throughout the years. He says, we're doing the same job. We're eating the same bread. So why not be a little communicative? So there were some photos of him and Towns together, and people were saying that Towns is trying to, you know, recruit Jokic to New York. And then, of course, Giannis made the comments that he wants to see all the Europeans in the big markets, Luka to LA, Jokic to New York, et cetera, et cetera. He wants to see these guys in big markets. That's kind of weird because he plays in a small market himself. So what are you trying to say? You want to see yourself outside of Milwaukee? I don't know. It's weird. But a lot of you guys was thinking that Karl-Anthony Towns was doing some espionage, trying to recruit. I just say, like we said earlier, all these guys are just friendly, man. Jokic, to get Jokic in New York is virtually impossible. But I mean, I take that back. It's not impossible. We got Leon Rose and Leon Rose we trust. Big salute to Leon Rose. But at the same time, you know, to get Jokic, it's, I mean, Towns, you might have to go in the deal. So if Towns is lining himself up, I don't know. I just don't see a day when Jokic, unless Jokic says, yo, I want to go to New York, you have to trade me there. That's the only way Jokic will come to New York. And it makes sense. And it's like, it could actually be facilitated because he's actually saying this is the only place I want to go. And he's a big enough star to do that. But I do want to talk about Towns some more. So Towns, and this is why I think this team is dangerous. This is why I really think this team is dangerous. And remember, we talked about the egos like 6-7 episodes ago with Josh Hart put out that quote and everybody went crazy with it. And I was the first one to tell you guys it's cap. It's nonsense. Remember, I said it. This is why you guys need to subscribe if you're not subscribed. Deal with the objective Knicks fan. I'm going to always keep it real. And I'm going to talk that level-headed Knicks talk and show you why some of the stuff these dudes be talking about is crazy. But this point right here with Towns actually confirms this whole thought process about these guys. He says he loves being teammates with Brunson, right? And Towns has deferred to as the captain. Everybody calls Jalen Brunson the captain, right? Right? Of course, give a little salute to the Captain 11 mug, right? I'll show you where you can get that in a second. But everybody calls Jalen Brunson captain. He said, hey, I didn't come over here to be a distraction or disrupt the flow or be an ego trip or anything. It's about the team. I came to amplify them and amplify Cap. You can't win the championship by yourself. You need everybody. And I'm happy with the team we have full of guys who are willing to sacrifice and look at the big picture and do what it takes to win every single night. And hopefully it results in the chip. First off, I'm going to say this. I'm riding with Knicks will be champs. I'm riding with all of the people in the chat, all the chats that say the Knicks can do it. You believe in the Knicks. I'm riding with you guys. Especially when I get the flagship in a second. We have the best collection of talent since the 90s. This team is the best team we've seen since those times. But I also think that with the talent we have, and it may not be this season, and it doesn't have to be this season for me. A lot of you guys get so tripped up off of a lot of things that I feel is kind of like short-sighted because you're not looking at the big picture. You don't have to win a championship this year. We looked at on the Knicks call-up show. We went through the ages. Towns is 29. Josh Hart is 30. Brunson's 28. Bridges is 27. OG is 27. We went through the ages. You can go another 1 or 2 years, even 3 years. It's not like these guys is pushing the late 30s. We got a window. And what we're doing right now, because you have a team full of unselfish guys, you building it up. You building up that solid foundation, that compatibility, that chemistry, right? Playing without egos like Josh Hart was talking about, which was basically, like I said, it's a Coach Tibb. That's a Coach Tibb bar. That's all Coach Tibbs talks about. That's all Coach Tibbs talks about is sacrificing and doing things for the greater good. So I'm happy that we got the team that we got. I'm not sitting here thinking about Giannis. I'm not sitting here thinking about Jokic. I'm not sitting here thinking about no other players. We got 2-star players. We got 2-star players already. We don't even need to worry about getting another star player, right? What we need to do, especially next season, is build on our bench. I think that's the one area that has, that needs a little bit more promising. And then this article here is talking about Karl-Anthony Towns and his title aspirations. And just some of the things about his career. This is another good read, just to double down on what we just talked about. And he's just feeling like Matrix 1, where Neo was like, when he was embracing the fact that he was the one, and then he started to see things slow down. That's what Towns is starting to see. He's like, the game is slowing down. I just got a better feel, and experiences teaches me a lot. He's been in the league 10 years, and he's reaching the point where I still don't even think he's at his peak. I think he's peaking. He might be in the range of his peak, but I don't think he's done climbing. And I think that having a good point guard, the ingredients history tells you, you get a really good point guard with a really good center, and typically really good things happen, right? And I just think that's where we are with this team. I think that this team is a team that is the perfect group of 5 to play with each other because they all know their role. No egos at all. Not even the captain, who's supposed to be the best player, who's supposed to be the most cockiest. Not even the captain. So I that's why I wanted to start with that article. I'm gonna keep it moving, and I'm gonna get to the flagship. No worries, I will get to it in a second. So we talked about team first. I'm gonna touch on this. I'm not gonna spend too much time on this. Luxury tax. So because I think this the deadline passed for the amount of salary you had to shed. That's why you see some of the deals you saw. Teams was moving off of certain salaries because they wanted to avoid this. But look at the current projected tax penalties. Phoenix Suns, 152 million. No, yeah, that's Suns. Phoenix Suns, $152 million. Minnesota Timberwolves, $84.85 million. Boston Celtics, $53.45 million. This is penalty tax. Lakers, $52 million. Knicks, $36 million. So we in the luxury tax for the first time in Leon Rose's tenure. They ain't tripping off of that. New York got more money than you can count. Lakers ain't tripping off of that. Lakers got more money than you can count. So what this shows me, I'm just pointing this out just to show you that the Knicks is putting their money where their mouth is, and the time is now. So I'm looking next season. Don't be surprised if we're a second apron team. That's just what I'm seeing right now. That's just what I'm seeing. And hold on, before I do this, I'm going to show you guys some of the upcoming programming, and I'm going to get into the chat to see what you guys talking about. Like I said, I can't stay for too much longer after the show. You know, I'm going to still try to get a good hour 20 in, but I'm going to go see Captain America. I'm looking forward to that. All my family, they're excited. They're waiting for me to get off the stream so we can actually go to the movie. So I'm looking forward to it, but I will get to flagship. No worries. I just want to make sure I got the right flyer up here so I could be on point. And I think I am on point. Bam. So I want to show you guys some of the upcoming programming, right? So these are the shows that we got. We got Big Dog Talk Sports. I will be on there tomorrow. It's a YouTube channel spelt that way. Big Dog Talk Sports. I'll be on there tomorrow at 11:30 p.m. We'll be talking about the NBA stuff. It's an NBA show, so it's not going to just be a Knicks show. But, you know, I'm going to be representing the Knicks when I can. And then, of course, this Friday, not Thursday, Friday at 10:45 p.m., we will be doing another Knicks call-up show. Okay? And then on Sunday at 1 o'clock, right? Not 8. Do I got the wrong time? Oh, I got to fix that. Sunday at 8 o'clock. At 1 o'clock, we will be doing a live play-by-play. I thought I changed that. It's all good. But, yeah, that's Sunday at 1 o'clock. And then, of course, next Monday at 6 o'clock, we will be right back here, okay, for This Week Inside the Knicks. So I just had to let you guys know what was up and coming. And let me get back in the research mode. And let me jump out of studio mode. Okay, cool. So let me move forward. Oh, by the way, salute to Big Dog Talk Sports. That's him in the chat. That's the channel I'm going to be on tomorrow at 11:30. Let me see what you guys told me in the chat. Knicks Yak, it would have to be the right player to go second apron. No, I think, honestly, Knicks Yak, it might just be to build your bench. You might have to go into that second apron to really get the solid 9-man rotation. Definitely, you might have to do that. And by the way, yeah, Big Dog Talk Sports, he put a link to the show tomorrow, so you guys can catch me on there tomorrow. Yuri, the way I look at it, he says, I don't see us being Boston and the Cavs. You know what, Yuri? I'm going to jump right in the flagship. I'm glad you said that. That's a great segue. I'm going to jump right in the flagship. Big Dog Talk Sports, please don't tell me about the movie. I don't want to know nothing about the movie. I don't care to know nothing about the movie because I don't want nobody to give me expectations, because when people say it's good, I expect it to be good, and then it's not good. I like to go in there with no expectations, so I'm not even going to act like I heard that. Trevor said, salute to Trevor, by the way. Trevor in the building. Trevor says, I believe that Chris Boucher is headed to New York somehow, some way. Well, he got to be waived first. Was he waived? I didn't get a chance to read too much NBA news today, so I'm not sure if he was waived. But if the brother is waived, yeah, I think he's coming to New York. I think that's a done deal. Him and Precious Achiuwa got a great relationship, and he would fit good because we don't have a guy that's 6'9" that can play the three. So, and Big Dog, you better not ruin it for me, man. You better not ruin it, because I won't come to the show. How about that? You don't ruin it, or I won't come to the show. Shoot the P. Duggar, he says, keys to stretch run. Cat must have make at least 15 shots a game. That's nothing. He gonna get that. He probably gonna get more. I could see Cat getting 16, 17 shots, to be honest. Health and Brunson minutes. I think minutes will be fine as the bench, comes back. I think we're gonna be fine. Mitch playing with Cat 25 minutes. That's possible. Josh and Bridges stepping up. Okay. Josh definitely gonna step up. Bridges has stepped up, but he needs to be more consistent. Deuce and Cam. Definitely Cam for sure. Deuce health has been kind of rocky. I think that if Deuce needs to take some time off, he should take it off. Because we got a lot of guards. We're not hurting at the guard position. I think he needs to take it off. And yeah, Big Dog, you better relax. Let me see what else you guys told. Any other good chats I might have missed? Brother Beater said dump Matt Ryan, Shaman, and pick up TJ Warren and Bojan. Well, you got one salary spot, so you don't gotta Well, was Bojan bought out? Now here's the question, Buzzer Beater. What was Bojan's salary? If Bojan is making more than $12 million, then we can't get him. Make sure. Okay, we good. Okay, cool. Let us get Josh Hart since y'all got so many guards. We need Josh Hart because we don't got enough small forwards. We got point guards. We don't got small forwards. All right, so let me get to flagship, y'all. So, like I said, I was gonna do the espionage, but I'm a little bit more serious of a content creator than that. So I wanted to tackle something more difficult, which is the Knicks against elite teams. Now, there's this narrative, right? Oh, I got to start my clock. There's this narrative that okay, we good. Okay, there's this narrative started by a lot of, I feel like it's old media who started this, saying that the Knicks don't do well against teams that are elite. They don't do well against teams that are above 500. And I disagree with that. I think that, yes, we're sub 500 against the elite teams, but we're above 500 against teams 500 and above. Now, New York went 1-5 against the top two teams in each conference during the first half of the season. 1-5 against the top two teams. When was this article written? This was Valentine's Day. So what I'm going to do right quick, right? And I think I'm going to do a video touching on this too. Just a video that's just going to highlight and touch on above 500 records, because I feel like people are underestimating what we're doing as a team against these teams. So it said that we're 1-5, right? 1-5. Hold on. We beat Memphis. Yeah, we lost to OKC twice. We lost to Cleveland. Okay, yeah, we 1-5. Okay, 1-5. But if you take that standing and you expand it to the top four teams. So if you say what's the Knicks record against the top four teams in each conference? So you got the Pacers, Celtics, Cavs, and then on the Western Conference you got Houston, Denver, Memphis, OKC. What's the Knicks record against the top four teams, right? So in the West, we're 4-2 because we lost to OKC twice. We also lost to the Rockets the first time around, a game that we should have won, but we lost, right? But we swept the season series against Denver. We beat Houston one time, and we beat Memphis. So we're 4-3 on the West against the top four team. So it's how you want to position it. You could say top three teams, top two teams, right? Denver could be a top two team in over the weekend because they basically got the same amount of wins as Memphis. And Memphis loses two of the next three games, then Denver jumps up to the number. So what are we saying? That's why I like to do top 14 because it's been fluid. Because remember, Houston was like a top two team and they've been dropping, right? So on the East, our record on the East is worse though. We only beat the Pacers. We swept the season series against the Pacers, but we lost to Cavaliers one time. We lost to Boston twice, and we lost to the Pacers once. So on the East, we're 2-4. If you combine the records, East and West, the Knicks will be 6-7. which is not the greatest number, but it's not the worst number. Should we be doing better against these teams? Yes. But it's not as bad as they're trying to make it seem. Okay? It's not as bad as they're trying to make it seem. So now what I'm going to do, first I want to make sure there's nothing else I want to see here. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Hard lesson. This was after the Celtics lost. What they talk about here. I learned if we fight, we have a chance. I think the last time it was even the game against Boston. Okay, he's talking about the Boston game. I thought there was something here I wanted to go with. All right, screw that. So what I'm going to do is this, right? Because now we're talking about the Knicks matching up against Boston, but not just Boston, all of the elite teams in the league. I can make an argument for every team in the league how the Knicks can beat these teams. The only team that I'm going to keep it real, but this can change. The only team I don't want to see in the playoffs is the Oklahoma City Thunder. I honestly think that this is the only team I try to sit there and say, how do we beat them in the series? And it's hard to really answer it because Chet Holmgren, I think they've been playing Chet Holmgren at the 4. Have y'all been watching OKC games? I saw one game. I saw this game. Matter of fact, we was on live together. This game. I had this game playing when we was doing the call-up. This was this Thursday? I mean, was that Thursday night? Yeah, Thursday. I think this was Thursday. This game here where OKC, they lost to Minnesota. And yeah, they did start him. So Chet Holmgren at the 4, to me, makes it, if I know they lost this game to Minnesota, it's one game, and they got to work on that, get their chemistry together. By the time the playoffs start, if this is the lineup they're going with, they'll have it together. I'm telling y'all right now, Chet Holmgren at the 4, I think makes this team the best team in basketball. They have no weakness. They could defend at all 5 positions. They have no weaknesses. So this is the only team. I hope we don't see them again. I just hope we don't see them again. Listen, I'm the objective Knicks fan. I got to keep it real. I tried. I sat there. I thought about it. I said, damn, if Chet Holmgren is the 4, how do we match up against them? And I'm like, yo, we're cooked because we don't got a 4 that's going to be able to deal with that. I'm going to keep it real. We don't got a 4. Now, OG Anunoby can defend, but now you're a smaller team. I don't like it. I just don't like the matchup. However, every other team, including Boston, I can make a case for us. I'm going to start with the Cavaliers, then I'm going to get to Boston. I'm going to stick to the East because, 1, we don't got that much time. And 2, we don't know who we're going to face in the West, so it don't even matter, right? So let's talk about the Eastern Conference. I'm going to start with the Cavs. Now, when you look at the Cleveland Cavaliers, they made the trade for DeAndre Hunter, right? Cavs, 8th ranked defensive rating, number 1 offense, consistently been the best offense in basketball. Cleveland Cavaliers, way more consistent than us. On offense, their level, look, every night they perform at a high level. The Knicks, we perform on most nights, but some nights it look like, yo, how are we the number 1 team? Or number 2 team, because we was number 1 at one point. But how are we a top 2 team, right? Because we'll have a night like, let me see if I can pull up an example. Well, it's hard because recently we've been playing pretty good. Let me see if I can find an example of what I'm talking. Recently we've been shooting the hell out. The points we're putting up on the board, incredible. 149, 128, 131, 121, 124, 128, 122, 143, 143, 99. So that's the last time we had an offensive output that wasn't really that good. That was against the Brooklyn Nets Tuesday. We did win that game. Prior to this stretch of offense barrage from the Knicks, prior to this stretch, we would have games like that against Brooklyn where it would be like, what happened to the offense, right? And then we had a game against Orlando where we had 103 points. But most nights, the Knicks offense is fantastic. Don't get it twisted. We are number 2 offense for a reason. We're a really good offensive team. Like that. That's one thing they can't take away from us. But the Cavs are more consistent. They rarely have letdowns. Even when they lose, they're still scoring well above 100 points. So that's the one thing I give the Cavs. Way more consistent on offense. The problem for Cleveland, and I'm going to double down, triple down, salute to all the channel members that saw my unfiltered thought when I was talking about the trade. I'm going to borrow a little bit from that. So, yeah, they got DeAndre Hunter, who I think starts now, right? I think they started him. I could pull up their last game. I didn't get a chance to watch this game. I'm actually going to watch this game probably tonight after the movies because I'm a vampire. So I'll be up late probably watching this game. And I'll be watching another Chicago game I got to check out. I got to finish because I like to study the ops before we play them, right? So this is a game I got to watch. Did they start? Oh, so Hunter's coming off the bench right now. Doesn't even matter. Bottom line is this. I'm gonna say let's say they start Hunter. Okay, who's guarding Jalen Brunson? It's a serious question. We're talking about playoff Brunson. Hold on, I got to drink from the captain. I got to drink from the Captain 11 mug. Hold on. Who's guarding Jalen Brunson? Playoff Brunson. Who's guarding him? Max Strus? That's food. Do you remember when we played Miami 2 years ago in the playoffs? They kept Max Strus far away from Jalen Brunson. That was Gabe Vincent's assignment. How many of you guys remember that? And it didn't matter. Brunson was torching him. By the way, Max Strus never guards Jalen Brunson, for the record. Then you got all-stars, Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland. Who's guarding Jalen Brunson? I'm telling you right now, in a playoff series, Jalen Brunson is going to cook the Cleveland Cavaliers. He's going to be averaging over 30 points, maybe 10 assists. Depends on how the way the game is going. He might not even pass the ball, so he might not even get 7 assists. He is going to cook them. They're going to have to double him. And listen, I'm telling you right now, if you got to double the Knicks, you're in trouble. The ball is going to move. We have no weak links on offense as long as Mitchell Robinson's not on the floor. There's no weak links on offense. They all can get a bucket, especially if you're leaving them open. Then the second question, it doesn't stop there. Remember, this is the 8th ranked Cavaliers defense. Cavaliers interior defense is probably, I'd say it might be the best interior defense in basketball. Them in Orlando. Orlando got really good interior defense too. I think they might have the best top level interior, because the Cavs on the interior are very solid. It's hard to, get layups and buckets inside against them because Mobley and Allen do a great job protecting the basket. On the perimeter, they are food. I saw the game when Boston beat them, when Jaylen Brown bullied them and forced them to do the DeAndre Hunter trade because they felt like they needed a wing that's athletic with size because Jalen Brown was torching them. How many of you guys saw that game? How many of you guys remember that game? Right? So the next question is, who's guarding Mikal Bridges? Who's guarding Bridges? Now, I know Bridges is not consistent as we want him to be, but he is somebody who has big game experience. He went to the finals with Phoenix. Who's guarding him? That's what I want to know. Who's guarding Mikal Bridges? Is it Garland? Is it Mitchell? Hunter's guarding Brunson, right? Who's guarding Bridges? Bridges starts going in that little mid post the way he likes to and shoots them little fadeaways. We've seen Bridges put up 40 like it's nothing with ease. Yes, he's not consistent, but the bottom line is, do you trust that in the playoffs? the Cavaliers' perimeter defense and the fact that they don't have a go-to perimeter defender is why I put us over them, because we're the number 2 offense. Hello? Your Knicks is the number 2 offense. They've been top 2, top 3 all year, consistently. Salute to those who watch the Knicks in 10 show. You guys know. And I'm getting ready to do a Knicks in 10 show tomorrow for the members only. So members, look out for the show tomorrow. I'm going to schedule it. I will be doing a Knicks in 10 show. I got sick last week. That's why I couldn't do it. I will do it tomorrow. I'm feeling good. And I'm talking my talk. All right. So that's why I think we're going to beat the Cavs. Now, yes, we got to defend their attack, but bucket for bucket, we can match them. We got the firepower to match them. And of course, on the inside, we got Mitchell Robinson, who should be ready for the playoffs. I'm not talking about this next game. I'm talking about the playoffs. Right? I'm not even talking about the season series. We could lose all 4 games to the Cavs in the regular season. Let's say we lose all 4 games. I'm talking about if we see them in the playoff. What's going to happen then? What is my vision for this Knicks team? Mitchell Robinson, we seen what he did to these guys 2 years ago. I see it happening again because Mitchell Robinson is that dog. He's the best offensive rebounder in basketball when he's available and healthy. And then you got the big bodega, something that we didn't have last time. How are they going to guard Cat on the perimeter? Mobley and Allen, they are like, I'm just going to say they're not as good on the perimeter defensively. So I just feel like the way the matchups is, it really favors us because we got perimeter defenders. You ask me who's guarding Donovan Mitchell, I'm going to tell you Mikal Bridges. Or OG Anunoby. Or Josh Hart. Or Deuce McBride. I could tell you a whole bunch of guys we're going to match and mix and match. They don't have those same answers. So that's why I give us the edge over the Cavs. Let me move to the Celtics, right? And those would be the 2 teams because the Pacers, how many of you guys, do you guys doubt our abilities against any other team? We already won the season series against Milwaukee and the Pacers. Yes, we're down 1-2 against the Pistons, but we could very well. When do we see them again? Let me see. When do we see Detroit? Towards the end of the season. We might not even see Detroit. Detroit got to pray they hold this spot because I think Orlando's going to come back. I think Orlando, as they get more healthy and more together with Franz and they get used to Franz and Banchero, I think the Magic going to go on a winning streak and the Magic are going to be a problem. So you guys ain't really worried about the rest of these teams, right? So I'm not even going concerned with them. I'm going to stick with the top. So I'm going to go into Boston, right? Now, let me tell you something. Boston is a problem. I'm not going to cap. I am the objective Knicks fan. I don't cap. Boston, they definitely will be the favorites. But I'm here to show you how we can beat Boston. I'm not here to tell you that, okay, they may be the favorites. I'm here to show you why that don't matter. So that's what I'm going to do. I just letting you know, I understand I'm level-headed. I'm not saying that we're better than Boston in terms of, where we are right now. But just because you're not better than a team, right, doesn't mean that you can't beat a team. And doesn't mean that you won't be better later on, too, because we already see KP is fragile. KP hasn't even played in a game against us this whole year. So let's see what happens with that. But they got a lot of offensive firepower. But what makes them more dangerous than Cleveland to me is that they play really good defense on the perimeter and on the inside too. KP gets good. I'm not gonna say great. I'm gonna say he's a good shot blocker. He's a good anchor in the paint to have. So if you just so happen to get by Drew Holiday, you got a 7'4" dude there waiting to block your shot. That's why a lot of teams get caught up in the 3-point shooting battle because that's what Boston wants you to do anyway. Because they believe that they can outshoot you, outgun you. But here's the thing. I'm gonna stick to our offense. We haven't shown it against Boston, right? We put up 104 points the last time we seen them, right? And then also the first game, We only put up 109 points. They put up 132 points. So we know Boston has the firepower. But at the same time, I think that our offense, for some reason, we just go away from all of the things that we do to kill all these other teams. And it's not even just the defense, because we beat better defenses than Boston. Orlando Magic, even without Paolo Banchero, was number 2, number 3 defense in basketball. We beat Memphis. They had a top 5 defense in basketball. We beat teams that are higher ranked defensively than the Celtics. So no, it's not the Celtics defense. Oh, it's the greatest defense we've ever seen. No, I just think that it's matchups. I think that the matchups are just not favoring us. So hopefully this is what I'm banking on for the 23rd. By the way, salute to everybody that's going to be watching it with me on the 23rd. I hope you guys will be here. Salute to everybody that just joined the stream, right? Sunday is going to be a big day. We're going to watch the game together. I'm going to say this. And I see J-Tab. I peeked in the chat. J-Tab, I see that. Derek Wright is the X factor. I feel like the biggest X factor in this whole series or this whole game, Sunday playoffs, whatever, because more than likely we'll see Boston in the playoffs in the second round. It's the Jason Tatum, OG Anunoby matchup. That is the most important matchup in the series. Jason Tatum is incredible. He went to Duke. I'm not just saying that because he went to Duke and I'm a Duke fan. He's incredible, right? You need to guard him one-on-one, which most people can't do, so you're going to be cooked. If there's one player in the league that I feel can at least, you're comfortable with guarding him man-on-man coverage, it has to be OG Anunoby. I think OG Anunoby makes it a one-on-one matchup. Now, does that mean Tatum won't get 30? He might still get 30, but it's going to be a hard 30. It's going to be him taking 30 shots, maybe going 10 of 30 from the field, hitting some threes to get the 30, hitting free throws to get the 30. It can't just be like how it was in the last game where Jason Tatum is just torching you. You got a small Josh Hart guarding him, a small Mikal Bridges guarding him. How about you pick on somebody your own size? OG Anunoby, to me, is the most important player for the Knicks in that series because he has to match up with Jason Tatum, and you got to play man-on-man defense. If you have to double-team Jason Tatum, you lost. I'm telling you right now, you're getting cooked. They all can shoot threes at a high level. So it starts with Tatum, OG Anunoby. You contain that. I'm not saying you're going to stop it. You contain it. Okay, cool. Now is less opportunities for the ball to move and get guys open shots. Jalen Brown is the second problem. And here's why. Because if OG's guarding Tatum, who's guarding Brown? Brown plays way more physical than Tatum. All right, so I'm going to say this, and maybe this may not be the most popular opinion. I think I want to revisit the Precious lineup with Precious at the 4. Right? And okay, and let me clarify this, because lineups matter. We don't know what Boston's lineup is going to be because they like to play 2 big guys now. Boston has gone big. I'm not sure if you guys have noticed that. They put 2 7-footers on the floor, right? They put 2 big men on the floor. They have no issues with doing that. So if they go with the Tatum-Brown lineup, and where I'm saying at the forwards, I would honestly try Precious Achiuwa, and I know this is not popular, but maybe bring Hart or Bridges off the bench. I know y'all don't want to hear that. Only reason why I'm saying that is because I want to put Precious on Brown. Now, I know you're going to say, oh, why would you put Precious on Brown? He's going to cook him. I honestly want to turn Jalen Brown. I would prefer him to do his damage on the perimeter, but at least we know he's not going to bully Precious, because Jalen Brown will bully small. If you put small guards on him, he is going to bully them. That's what he did to Cleveland. That's why they went and got Hunter. So I would like to see Precious on Brown. But if not, if we don't want to change the starting lineup, Josh Hart got to take that assignment. Josh Hart, you got some strength to you. He's going to try to bully you. I don't mind helping when he's posting low, but you cannot help on a guy shooting 20 feet out. It's ridiculous. Now, pick and roll defense also has to improve, because Peyton Pritchard was looking like Chris Paul. No, he was looking like, who's somebody that could shoot off the screen and roll? He was looking like Trae Young. Peyton Pritchard was looking like Trae Young on pick and roll the last time we saw them. That's unacceptable. Pritchard shoots like 7 threes a game. There's no reason why he should be crossing you up and getting to the basket, right? So pick and roll defense is another thing that they're going to have improve upon. I don't know how you're going to do it. That's probably going to be the hardest thing to do, is the pick and roll defense. Towns, you have to feature Towns. And I think that's what they're working towards. I think this is what we're building towards, right? I think that this is part of the process. For whatever reason, they don't get Towns involved against the Celtics. He shot, maybe 12 shots the last time we saw the Celtics. That's unacceptable. Towns needs to get his. They have no answers for Towns defensively outside of scheme-wise. They do a good job scheming. But like one-on-one, which the Celtics don't really do because they do such a great job rotating. They have no problem with helping. They have no problem with running the zone. They do a great job rotating on defense. You got to find ways to get Towns involved, because one-on-one, nobody can guard him on the Celtics. I'm telling you right now, they can't. KP, they're going to protect KP. But I'm curious to see how Mitch looks with the 2 big lineup against Boston. But the adjustments, Coach Tibbs going to have to be sharp with adjustments, because I'm telling you right now, if Joe Mazzulla sees something not working, he is pulling the plug. So, like in the third quarter of the last game when they were killing Luke Cornett, he was a target, right? And even they did go on a little run even after Luke Cornett came out the game. But that Joe Mazzulla saw that. He took him right out the game. And I felt like when Cater came in, that's when Tibbs went back to Precious, but that's a whole nother topic. But I think that we can really match exploits with the Boston Celtics. Salute to everybody that just joined the chat. I'm sorry, I've been rambling, but I'm just trying to get all this information out. And New Lord said Achiuwa. I know, New Lord, my bad, bro. I said Achiuwa. I know a lot of y'all ain't feeling it. I knew y'all wasn't going to feel it. But I'm just saying I want him for Brown because of size. That's the only reason why I said him. Knicks will be chance says Boston isn't a good, Precious is not a good matchup for Boston. It depends on where you put him, because I don't like Precious at the 5, but I think Precious at the 4, he might can do more. Now, I know he played the 4. I know you're going to say, well, he played the 4 the last time we saw the Celtics, and he didn't really do much. But he was really utilized to back up. He played a lot of 5 too, Precious, because he was backing up Towns. Because remember, we didn't have, was Sims on the team at that time? Even if Sims was there, he wasn't really getting the time, and he wasn't giving the minutes to Ariel. So Ariel wasn't getting the time. So Precious spent a lot of time at the 5, to be fair, right? We didn't see a lot of Precious at the 4 unless he was on the floor with Towns. Cat got pumped by Cornette. He wasn't in his head. Honestly, I'm gonna keep it real, and I think it is mental and a grill. I do think that Precious Achiuwa, that I do think that Towns mentally is something. It is something more going on, and maybe I feel like they just giving the Celtics too much damn respect. Like, you got to have some more pride. But I'm telling you, I think that, and then Mitch dealing with the size, because the Celtics like to play big, I think Mitch will help with that. When the Celtics go big, you can go with Mitch. And I think you can win. I think Mitch can win against Cornette. Now, pick and roll defense is a problem. And so Mitch will be a pick and roll target. So it's kind of like, same like KP is for them. Even though they hide him, they do a good job hiding him. But at the same time, Mitch will be a pick and roll target. And because Mitch is not as versatile offensively, right? Or just like because he's so paint oriented, and the fact that the Celtics got two guards that can handle the ball, no matter where you put Mitch on the floor, they can target him and pick and roll. So I don't know. It's for Coach Tibbs to figure out that part. I don't know. I don't really like Mitch in the Boston matchup because I feel like he's a target for pick and roll, picking pops. Yeah, Mitch is gonna get cooked. But when they got Luke Cornett out there, I'm curious to see how that looks. J-Tap says Cat needs to go to the post, get low. It's hard to J-Tap. It's hard to do that when they're zoning you. When for whatever reason your offense is just, I don't know. It's like they become starstruck when they go against the Celtics. I can't explain why they don't even run pick and roll against the Celtics. When's the last time how many times did you see Towns and Brunson pick and roll? Towns and Mikal pick and roll. How many times did you see it? It's like, I don't know. It's just weird. The Knicks play weird when they play Boston. I'm hoping that changes the next time because Boston can be beat. I seen Toronto do it twice. I seen Toronto, a team that doesn't have the talent that we have, beat Boston. I've seen them do it. Boston is not invincible, y'all. Do not get it twisted. They shoot a lot of threes, and on a lot of nights, they don't hit. Yeah, they shoot decent percentage, but they don't hit. They don't hit enough, right? What keeps them in the game is their defense and their ability to do other things offensively because I think they're number 3 or 4 offense? They up there. I know they top 5. Knicks 100, who boogied on Precious? Somebody just did him dirty. Damn, yeah, you're right. I don't remember who that was. Knicks 100 said Brunson and Cat can't defend. And you know what? That could be a problem. Knicks 100, that's a fair point. Because we got to do so much covering for Towns and Brunson against Boston, a team with 2-point guards, right? They got 2-point guards who pretty much could do the same thing, and they're both good on both ends of the floor. It just makes it very difficult to stop Boston, right? And part of, well, no, I can't even say that because I think Towns was on the floor in that third quarter when we made the run. Bottom line of what I'm saying is, you're going to have to defend because I still think that while what Knicks 100 is saying is true, I think that Tatum is the key. If you can guard Tatum single coverage, right, and even if he's shooting them fadeaway threes, do not double because that's what he's looking to do. Tatum is averaging like 6 assists a game, by the way, too. And like they said, 87% of his assists, was it 61% of his assists were threes. So he's getting guys open threes, and that's how they're killing us. So that's their game. They bait us in the double team Tatum from 20 feet out, which is a bad double team, and then now guys are getting open threes. Brunson defended well last Celtic game. Good point, Anagrill. But will he be able to do that for 7 games? Everybody in the Celtics can handle the rock. Facts. But they're not, guys, I don't want you to, they're not invincible. They can be beat. I've seen them lose games. Partition for the main reason is because they wasn't shooting the 3-ball well. Right? So if you're seeing them in a 7-game series, they're going to have at least 3 games where they're not shooting 100%, and you got to capitalize off that. Knicks got to get out and transition, man. What transition plays do you see the Knicks do? Right? And crashing the glass is another thing. We got to crash the Celtics is not the greatest rebounding team, right? And we do a good job keeping teams off the glass. For some reason, when we go up against Boston, we just don't keep them off the glass. We got to keep them off the glass. Got to. Right? And get some opportunities in transition. That's what Toronto was able to do. Tendrell says, have Matt Ryan come off the bench and flagrant foul Tatum. Oh, man, you talking about some old school basketball there. J-Tap said the Knicks aren't Boston's rival, but Boston's ours. Boston look at this team as a practice squad. Damn, J-Tap. Oh, that hurts. But you know what, guys? I'm going to jump off this Boston stuff. I'm going to move really quick because I do got to get ready to get up out of here. But I do have to do word on the street and Nick of the week, at least before I go. So I'm going to do Nick of the week. So This week's Nick of the Week is none other than Karl-Anthony Towns. Salute to the big bodega for getting it done. You know, it was a short week. It was only 2 games, but I still did the Nick of the Week. In those 2-game stretch, he averaged 42 points, 11 boards, 2.5 steals, stepping it up on the defensive end. And I just feel like the big bodega was really in his bag. And of course, all of these games, of course, was post Boston. And this is a good sign. You know, you have Brunson and Towns playing some of their best basketball, getting ready to go into these 2 rivalry games with Boston and Cleveland. So I just had to give the big bodega some light, even though it was a short week. I don't care. He still deserves the light. He was balling. He had 40 points, 12 rebounds against the Detroit Pistons. I'm sorry, Detroit Pistons. Against the Pacers. I'm bugging. In a game that was a statement game, a rubber match against a team that beat us in the second round last year of the playoffs and prevented us from going to the Eastern Conference Finals. So I think, anytime you could beat a team like this, it was very important. And, taking advantage of Miles Turner not being there, I think it was a major key. I think Towns is going to have a big game against Boston on Sunday, and I think that's why we're going to get the W. And where's that game going to be at? So that game's going to be in Boston, right? But I've seen Boston. They just lost in Boston, so not too long ago. So I think we could get the job done. And then also, of course, a thriller in OT against the Hawks, which is a game that we should have won in regulation, but that's a whole other topic. Towns carried us the majority of the game. He had 44 points, 10 rebounds, and yeah, he was a problem. Oh, and Onyeka Okongwu is a talented center from Atlanta, so to see Karl-Anthony Towns do that to him was pretty impressive as well. So let me move forward from there. So he's the Nick of the Week. I'm going to do a couple of words on the streets and I'm going to get up out of here. Salute to everybody rocking with me, man, for the podcast this week inside the Knicks. By the way, if you are interested in the Captain 11 mug that you saw me use earlier, you can go to shop.theobjectiveknicksfan.com or you can go to thisweekinsidetheknicks.com and click on shop and it'll take you right there. And you could go check out the Captain 11-9. It's just to salute the captain and give him his props. He deserves it. He still is the best player on this team. And as you can see, him hitting big shots in overtime to help get us a W. That's what matters the most. But this is the exact mug I got right here. We also got the white mug. But we got hoodies and hats. Go check it out. thisweekinsidetheknicks.com or shop.theobjectiveknicksfan.com. Either website you go to is going to take you here. And you can be able to get all those products I'm talking about. Let me do word on the street. And we're going to get up out of here. So, I'm just going to do I didn't do too many polls this week. Was pretty much, busy moving and popping. And also, it was an all-star break, so I didn't want to force it. But I'm just going to cover these 2 polls here. With the Knicks big man Precious Achiuwa performing the way he is, should he be considered to start in the starting lineup over Mitchell Robinson? And we got 246 votes. I'm going to say no, keep the starting lineup the same. 40% agree with me. No, keep the starting lineup the same. 19% say yes, he fits in nicely, which I do think he does fit in nicely with the starting lineup. And then 37% say no, start Mitch. So a lot of you guys still believe that Mitchell Robinson is the answer to start. I don't think Mitchell Robinson is the answer to start. I think Towns is better at the 5. And power forwards do a better job defending Towns than centers, even though he's been cooking power forwards recently too, because that was the latest hacks that teams was trying to do, but he's been cooking all the power forwards. He's been cooking everybody who's been on him since the Boston game, especially. So this is the last poll I'm going to do. Launch says the Lakers recently bought out Christian Wood. Should the Knicks use their final roster spot to sign him? I'm going to say no, because I want Chris Boucher. 187 votes, 63% of Knicks fans don't think Christian Wood is the right guy for us to sign, and 30% say yes. So that's all for the Knick and this week inside the Knicks word on the street. Definitely check it out. And of course, like I said, tomorrow I'm going to be on Big Dog Talk Sports. This Friday, 10:45 p.m. Knicks call-up show returns. And real quickly, to all my members, I will be doing a member show only show tomorrow, right? And if you want to be a part of the members only show, you can join a membership on the channel. It's 2 packages. You got the starter Knick fans and the hardcore Knick fans. Each one of these packages gets you access to the 24/7 Knicks chat that's in the Knicks Tape Madness Discord server, right? And we have great chats in there. Salute to Yuri, salute to J-Tap, salute to Coach, salute to Sam, HRM, the Gray's also up in there. Salute to all the people that's in the Discord server. So if you want to get up in there and talk with us, we talk during the games, after games. I even created other chats too. We got a 24/7 NBA chat, so we talk about NBA, and we also talk about fighting, UFC, boxing. So I just recently created that channel. If you want access to that, you can join one of these membership packages. Of course, $4.99 gets you the badges, the access to the Discord, members only live chats. Like I said, I'm getting ready to do a live show tomorrow for members tomorrow morning. Priority reply to comments. All my members, anytime you drop comments, I try to make sure I read it and get back to it. Photos and status updates. I got the unfiltered thought, which I will be doing more this week. But, we've been on a break, so been taking it easy. Of course, all my members get shout outs. And by the way, all the members also get a bigger discount on merchandise like the Captain 11 mug. So that's what you get when you become a member for the $4.99 package, right? So now, the $14.99 package is the hardcore fan. Now, this is for the people that want to be down with the parlay builders, right? Parlay builders. By the way, I forgot to post in the parlay builder, but we won our last parlay right before the All-Star break. I hit the money big. So, the parlay builders is basically a place where we come together and we try to make some money, man. I'm gonna keep it real. We make some good, solid picks. So, if you want to become a hardcore Knicks fan, that's what you get. And then, of course, I'm going to be doing the Parlay Builder shows as well, especially as we get into the second half of the season. And, yeah, that's what you get when you join the channel. Joining the channel definitely helps grow the channel, and it helps me continue to invest in more equipment and to make things a lot better. So, salute to everybody in the chat. Oh, New Lord said, we need Wemby. Knicks 100 said, Knicks is not strong enough to beat Boston. Don't count yourself out just yet. Don't count yourself out just yet. Knicks 100 and New Lord. Salute to you guys. Salute the Knicks will be champs 25-26. Brown is just as effective as Tatum. Yes, Brown is as effective as Tatum, but Brown is utilized in a different way than Tatum is. So Tatum is more perimeter focused. Brown, he can shoot threes and do that too, but Brown is more, I'm trying to get slash to the basket. He's trying to get opportunities to the basket. He wants to take advantage of mismatches, and he's going to post up them small guards. When they play Jason Tatum at the 2-3, it's dangerous. It's dangerous when they put him and Brown at the 2-3. So I think, while they both are effective, I think they're used a little bit differently. The Knicks aren't Boston's rival. Oh, yeah, I read that. All right, so that's all for the chat, y'all, man. Salute to everybody that tuned in. This was a great turnout. I appreciate you guys on the podcast. I hope that all you guys return this Friday to the Knicks Call-Up Show. That's all. I got to get to this movie before we're late. Oh, I see you, JJP NYC, on the way out. But that's all for this pod. So until next time, let's go Knicks.